Assistant Professor of Public Policy and author of the book Rules for Rebels, The Science of Victory in Militant History. Thanks for being with us here on RT International. Help us get a unique take on this. So Trump is ordering the complete withdrawal of troops from Syria, which seems at odds with what the Pentagon said just a week ago. Is this move by Washington totally unexpected? I mean, it seems that his own generals really didn't know that this was coming.
Well, Trump likes to keep us on his toes. I do believe that this is a surprise. Administration, they don't want to completely contradict the Pentagon or Congress, certainly not military personnel on the ground. But it seems as if Trump has acted very independently. And in that sense, the news is surprising. On the other hand, the news really shouldn't be that surprising, because Trump isn't a big thinker in terms of geopolitical strategy. He always, or almost always made it clear that we were in Syria for one main purpose, and that is to attrit ISIS. Now, there are all sorts of debates about whether or not ISIS is actually dead, but there's no dispute that ISIS is a shadow of itself, and apparently the president thinks that the group has been sufficiently ground down that we can essentially declare mission accomplished and go home.
So some U.S. allies, including Kurdish fighters in Syria, are not happy at all with Trump's decision. Could the U.S. still be persuaded to keep boots on the ground? I mean, will the Pentagon, for example, try to convince Trump to go back on this particular decision?
No question about it. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Trump to walk back this announcement, to keep some troops there for all sorts of reasons, to continue the fight against ISIS, to protect our Kurdish friends, the YPG, the SDF, whatever you want to call them, to prevent Iran from linking up even more with Hezbollah and possibly supplying the group weapons, also possibly as some sort of a counter even to Russia, to prevent the Assad regime from, reintegrating the entire land of Syria under the regime. So there are going to be all sorts of arguments where Trump is going to be, pushed to try to walk back this decision, if not to fully reverse it. But we'll see whether or not he actually goes forth with what it sounds like he's saying, which is to remove all military personnel from the country.
Well, I mean, you bring up a good point in terms of what Trump says sometimes publicly and what actually happens in terms of policy are not exactly always the right thing, or the same thing, I mean. Kurdish forces, though, in Syria have reportedly called Trump's decision a stab in the back. What's going to happen to the Kurds once the United States pulls out? We know that Turkey's not a big fan of them.
To put it mildly, some people are saying that the timing is such because Turkey has said in recent days that basically it's going to go east of the Euphrates, that it's going to clean out this area where the U.S. has been. And of course, the United States and Turkey have had, a testy relationship, but they are both NATO allies. And possibly one theory is that the United States is trying to get out at a time when Turkey is moving in. So there isn't some kind of a clash, which could be awkward, if not deadly. As far as the Kurds go, they're 100% correct. They are being sold out. This has been the history of the Kurdish people. Personally, my heart goes out to them. I think that they have earned some measure of independence, certainly, by dint of their strong efforts against ISIS. But the problem for the Kurds isn't so much the level of U.S. support, but the fact that within the region, the Kurds are seen as enemies in many different countries. And so they don't fit comfortably really anywhere, in Turkey, in Iraq, in Syria. And so the United States supports them, but only to an extent.
Indeed. All right, Max Abrahms. Very interesting to hear your thoughts on this, because we could talk for hours and still not even breach the surface of it. Assistant Professor of Public Policy and author of the book Rules for Rebels, The Science of Victory in Militant History. Congratulations on that, by the way. Thanks for being with us here on RT Internet.
Thank you. Nice chatting with you. Thanks.